Poland's president says it is hard to deny his words that Russian forces are committing genocide in Ukraine. The goal of the invasion, he says, is, and again, these are his words, quote, simply to extinguish the Ukrainian nation. Now, he said that and much more in an exclusive interview with CNN's Dana Bash, who joins us now from Warsaw. So what did President Duda tell you about getting weapons to Ukraine?
Well, you know, Anderson, that President Zelensky uses every opportunity he has, whether he speaks to a legislative body in any given country or does his nightly address, to say, I need more weapons. Well, here in Poland, its neighboring country, they have weapons. But the question has been whether or not this country, Poland, is going to give the Ukrainians those weapons for a lot of reasons, not the least of which is that there is fear here about their security, since there has been a 1,000-year animosity between these two countries. So that is why you'll hear in this interview, Anderson, President Duda here in Poland was reluctant to telegraph exactly what they're doing. You tweeted that Ukrainians, quote, need three things above all: weapons, weapons, and more weapons. You have Soviet-era tanks here in Poland. You have Soviet-era airplanes, MiG-29s. Why haven't you been able to work with NATO to get those to Ukraine?
Pani redaktor.
Madam, I'm smiling because weapons, weapons, and more weapons. This is what Ukrainians need. We have to be clear. The free world, the North Atlantic Alliance, also us, the Poles, did not expect that Ukrainians, our neighbors, would be so decisive and so courageous, exceptionally courageous, and that they will defend their country in this way. More than 1 million Ukrainians, before the outbreak of the war, were in Poland. They have been living here, they have been working here. Of course, they visited their families in Ukraine, but they came back. Here is where they made money, in Poland. A vast majority of those men went to Ukraine to fight.
Can NATO do more to help you help them?
I cannot say everything, madam, here in this open interview, because, well, there are also secrets, NATO secrets. There are also secrets between Poland and the U.S. However, please believe me, I talked to President Joe Biden about this. We consulted the U.S. administration in the White House, and we are in a close contact with the U.S. administration all the time. So there is this help for Ukraine. It is being provided. It comes from the United States. It is also coming from other places. This help is also provided from allies. We try to support Ukraine as good as we can.
And of course, Poland is absorbing more of the Ukrainian refugees by far than any other country. Since the war began, over 2.5 million refugees, as you know. How much longer can your country sustain the volume of refugees at this magnitude?
Right before a Russian attack on Ukraine, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau called me of Canada, and we know that he has got a very influential and big Ukrainian minority in his country, and he asked me what we would do if a Russian attack on Ukraine happened, whether the Polish border would stay open or closed. I told him, Mr. Prime Minister, Justin, I don't have any doubts whatsoever that the border will be open. Of course it will be open. If our Ukrainian neighbors are attacked, if they flee from death, from war, from Russian bombs, of course we are going to take everyone who needs it, and that is what we did. We opened our border. We accepted everyone, and we're still taking people, all those who need it. There was a huge wave of refugees. Within the first 2 weeks of the war, we had almost 1.5 million Ukrainian refugees. But they were people, and they are people from 170 different countries all over the world, 170. Not only Ukrainian students, also from India and from other countries, from African states. A lot of them, we had a full spectrum of people. All of them were fleeing because they were afraid. Many of them had lived in Kharkiv, where bombs were dropped on living quarters, on apartment blocks. So we are taking everyone, hosting everyone, and trying to help everyone. Of course, this is something that Poland has never seen it in its history. We have got more than 1,050 years of history. But this situation is unprecedented. When we received 2.5 million people within 14 days, this is unprecedented in our history. So we are coping with it. I'm really proud with my compatriots because, as a matter of fact, all these people, we do not have any refugee camp in Poland. So far, we did not have to build any refugee camp in Poland, as it is typically the case in some parts of the world. All the people were taken to private homes, student homes, in hotels, in spa resorts, in motels, different places made available by local governments. So we are trying to help as good as we can, but we need international support badly.
And I want to ask about that specifically because obviously what the Polish people are doing is nothing short of remarkable. But the U.S. chairman of the Joint Chiefs said that this conflict could take years. So are you starting to put a plan together? Because, as you said, a lot of the Ukrainians are living in people's homes. Are you starting to put a plan together to absorb them officially into Polish society?
Many of them have remained in Poland and they're staying in Poland. First and foremost, these are women and children. We have to remember about this. Men are fighting. By the way, Ukrainian border guards stopped men on the border. They told them to come back. They just allowed women and children to cross the border to Poland. This was the decision of the Ukrainian side. So men stayed behind. Women and children came to Poland. We tried to find schools for children. We have set up a special legal regulation. We adopted a special act in Poland. A special law was adopted, which gives the same rights to the Ukrainians as the Poles have. Rights to health system, to education, to insurance, the right to work. So far, it is binding for 18 months, all those rights. Very many of them are staying. Right now, we have got almost 2 million refugees in Poland. Many of them do not want to go anywhere else. They are saying, we are waiting till the end of the war because we want to come back to our homes. So these people want to come back. Women want to come back to their husbands. Children want to come back to their schools and their environment. We want to give them the best possible conditions of stay here in Poland. And we hope that they will be able to come back when the war is over.
Dana, obviously, I mean, things are fluid. Did it sound to you like President Duda had an answer about any long-term plans for the refugees in his country?
In a word, no. There really doesn't seem to be a long-term plan. This happened so quickly, so organically. And by the way, that's the same answer that I got from the mayor of Warsaw, the capital city, talking about a longer-term plan. And Anderson, just to give a little context to what 2.5 million people means here in Poland, that is one Ukrainian for every 15 Poles. That is an enormous number that this country is absorbing. They're all in private homes. They're not in they're in refugee centers, but not for very long. And so it is still an open question, given the fact that everybody admits that the war is likely to go on for some time, how these mostly women and children are going to get their own places, get all of them get properly the kids into school and to really become members of society here, if that is what it's going to take, which it looks like it might.